everyone, welcome back to my channel, Side Hustle Seattle. So first things first, I did recently do a giveaway for hitting 5,000 subscribers. I did announce that giveaway winner, so thank you so much for everybody who entered. There will be more giveaways in the future, so just stay tuned for those. If you didn't win this time, hopefully you will win the next time. So anyways, let's get into it. So I actually wanted to talk about Notarize. So if you didn't know, I think back in like April, Notarize announced that they were going to be launching something called BYOT, or Bring Your Own Transactions. And they were going to be launching it in 2 states. So they're going to be launching it in Washington, and they were going to be launching it in Tennessee. So at that time, we had no idea when it was going to launch, what exactly it was going to look like, but it officially launched May 18th. So I'm going to back it up a little bit. So for those of you who don't know what Notarize is just a remote online notary platform. So previously, Notarize, you could actually only use it in 2 ways. You can use it as an independent contractor. So if you're in one of 4 states, it was Florida, Texas, Nevada, and Virginia. You can actually contract with Notarize. They would bring you clients, so people who are going to the Notarize website to get their documents notarized, you would essentially be one of the contractors that was handling those transactions. Or you can be an enterprise client or a business client. So if I'm a business and I have notaries that work for me, like W-2 notaries, then I could onboard my notaries onto the platform, and they could use that system and that software to notarize the clients within our business. So those were the only 2 ways that you were able to use it prior to this. So now BYOT is the 3rd way. So now that I've had some time to play around with it, see what it offers, see what it doesn't offer, I wanted to make sure that I can give you that information, so that way if you are looking to use the platform in the future, that you have that information to make the most informed decision. So let's go ahead and let's just start from the beginning. Let's talk availability. So again, like I said, it's only available in Washington and Tennessee as of right now, but they announced in the Rewired conference a couple months ago, I believe, that it will be launching in other states as the year goes on. So expect there to be other states added to that platform. Now, in order to sign up, you honestly just need the basic things. So you'll need your notary commission, your digital certificate, which you can get through IdenTrust. You'll need $25,000 E&O insurance, or errors and omissions insurance. You will need an electronic signature and seal, both of which they actually provide for you. And you'll just need to show proof that you're authorized to do remote online notary work through Notarize. So for me, they actually emailed the Washington DOL, Departments of Licensing, to confirm that I had authorization to actually perform remote online notary work, and then they allowed me to access the platform. So I filled out everything else, and then they're like, okay, well, we have to email and confirm, and once they were able to get confirmation, I was able to actually get on. I think it only took like 2 days for them to fully confirm. So just be aware there may be a delay from when you originally sign up to when you actually get through. Now, just looking at the basics, first of all, my voice sounds like first thing in the morning. It is first thing in the morning. But just talking about the basics, for the most part, everything is like we know, right? If you've ever been on any remote online notary platform, then you would know having a digital certificate, you have to have, right? Showing proof of notary commission, all the basics, like those are pretty basic things. The only thing that's different that Notarize requires that I've never seen on any other platform is errors and omissions insurance. So it's not actually required as a notary to have errors and omissions insurance. It's a choice to have, but it's a smart choice to have it, but it's definitely not something required. So not everybody does have it. So that's the only thing that's different from the Notarize platform than I've seen in any other one. So if you don't currently have errors and omissions insurance, there's plenty of ways to get it. I got mine through the NNA. You can Google it. There is a lot other ones. You just need notarial, actually, errors and omissions insurance in this case, and I will tell you why later on in the video. But just keep in mind, if you don't currently have it and you are looking to use this platform, you will want to make sure that you get it. Also, in general, it's just nice to have some errors and omissions insurance just to cover your back in case anything happens. So let's go ahead and let's talk pricing, because easily one of the most important things to know. A lot of platforms try to like nickel and dime you and charge all the stuff on the back end. So I was actually really surprised with their pricing. It's actually a really great pricing structure. So it is $0 sign up fee, which means to just use the platform itself, to get onto the platform, it is $0. Some platforms you'll see will have a setup fee in order to get all like everything integrated into your system. In this case, you will not pay anything that way. There is, however, a $8 transaction fee plus $3 additional for each seal. So to keep it simple, if you bring on a signer, they have one document that needs one seal, you will get charged $8 for the benefit of being able to use their software, them storing your notarial journal, recording the session, etc. And then, of course, if you have one document with 2 seals, you'll get charged $11, $8 transaction fee, plus $3 for the additional seal. Now, you as the notary are responsible for paying that transaction fee, and then of course your signer is responsible for paying you. So that's how it'll work. Now, keep in mind, that's actually a really good price. So that's actually, I think, the cheapest per transaction fee that I have for any platform I use. And I have 3, now with Notarize, I'd have 3 main platforms. So I have OneNotary.us, Live Notary, and then now Notarize. And the $8 transaction fee is the smallest out of each of those platforms. Now, granted, you give and take in other places, but just transaction fee alone, it's actually very, very well priced. So I want to make sure that we have a chance to actually look at the platform itself. Now, I want to be mindful that they may not want a video all in their space. So I'm going to show you just the basics. I probably won't go too in depth just for the sake of, I don't want this video taken down, but let's go ahead and just take a look at what it has to offer. And then we'll get into some of the things that I've seen that maybe aren't my favorite. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's go ahead and show you the platform itself. Now, I'll just take you through the basic stuff that I think are cool, and I feel like everybody should know. So when you get on the Get Started page, which is just your main kind of home page, you'll be able to see the Notary Academy. So that's where you can get your training, you can get in-depth reviews of everything the platform has to offer. 100% recommend doing it. Actually, there's a lot going on, which can be good and bad. It could be, good because it really allows you to kind of customize the experience, but also bad because it can be a little overwhelming. So I 100%, if you're going to use this platform, go through the Notarize Academy. You can also just practice sending your own documents, so I'll show you what that looks like in a second. And you can do a simulated signing. Now, this is clutch because, of course, every platform is different. They all kind of have some of the same things, but how you drag, drop, etc. is different. So I think it's important to go through and do the simulation. But what I want to show you is the Send and Manage tab. Okay, so let's say that you want to send a transaction to somebody. You can go ahead and go send new, notarization request, or e-signature request. So if it doesn't require notarization, then you can just do an e-signature, but you'll click notarization request. Now, when you see it, basics, you're gonna put the name of the person, their email address. You can put the phone number, you do not have to, but it's nice because it'll send them a text message with the signing, and people are just more alert of stuff that pops up on their phone than email, so it is convenient for them to be able to get that link on their phone as well, especially since Notarize has an app, so that's nice. Does the document require additional signature? Just some basic stuff. You can also put the date that the meeting is set to occur, which will help you kind of keep track of your schedule, especially if Notarize is the only platform that you're using. Then you can see a list of everything that you have queued up. Now, just because you put a date there doesn't mean it's set in stone. So if you're like, hey, we're gonna meet tomorrow, and then they're like, oh, well, actually, and then you send it off and they're like, actually, I can't meet until 2 days from now, you can still use that same meeting link itself. You just can't change the date on it. And then you can say how much you are going to charge. So you can use your standard fee, and standard fee are the fees that you set as your default fees in the system, and I'll show you that in a second. Or you can do a custom fee. So for whatever reason, let's say that you had already talked to the signer ahead of time, you guys had agreed on something different for whatever reason, you can make a custom one just for this transaction, and so you can pay that. So again, remember, you pay Notarize for the transaction, so you pay $8 per transaction, but your signer is still paying you. So you may pay $8 up front, but they may pay you $25 on the back end or whatever you can actually charge within your state. And you do get paid out right away, or it goes into your Stripe account right away as soon as the transaction ends, and of course they pay for it. So just keep that in mind. You can upload the document, and once you upload the document, it actually allows you to pre-fill it out and tag it and all of that before you send it. That way you can have the smoother transaction when you actually do it, which is nice. And then you can do a custom email. That I actually like. So you can do a custom subject line, you can do a custom signature at the bottom, and you can say whatever it is that you need to say. I feel like it gives it a more professional feel, and it gives it a more personal touch versus just the blanket ones that you get with any other platform. And then you can preview the email before you send it, so that way you're like, I don't really know what this is gonna look like once they receive it. You can preview that. Some notes, and then the payment. So again, you can actually do, if you want to bill the signer for the transaction, and you can do it in Notarize or outside of Notarize. So let's talk through like payment in a second, because I want to show you what this looks like. But yeah, that's the send and manage one. It's actually really efficient. I'm actually a big fan of the send and manage, probably more so than I've seen on some other platforms. Of course, you can go to your meetings tab if you have any meetings queued up. I do not have any meetings queued up. I actually just finished like doing the training and everything on this, but am looking to use this soon. And then of course the resources tab. Now resources tab is great. Bring in Notarize Academy, which is the training. You can make templates, easy links, which are essentially like, it's like convenience links, almost like quick links. They're really good if you have a document that always gets signed. Like let's say you have a contract or something that you need every single person to sign. An easy link is nice because it essentially like makes repetitive stuff quicker. It's hard to explain, honestly. Like even when they were trying to explain it to me or in the training, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna use that feature, but it is there for you to use. And then some marketing resources, your notarial journal, etc. Now I wanna show you the payments and the billings. So let's go to that. Okay, so you can of course see your plan details right here. You can see how much you get charged, so $0 a month and then $8 plus $2 additional seal. This is the billing period. So I wanna say you get billed at the end of the month for all the transaction fees. I don't believe you pay right then and there. I'm pretty sure at the end of the billing period, that's when you actually get charged. Don't quote me on that. But the signer payment is the most important part of it. So you can either bill, so this is what you're gonna set as your default. So anything that you do is gonna automatically default to what you've put in here. So you can either do bill signers outside of Notarize, and what that would do essentially is as soon as the transaction is over, the signer will be able to get the documents right away, and they don't have to pay anything, and then of course you guys will handle the payment outside of the platform. Or you can do the signers pay you using Notarize, which means as soon as you're done actually notarizing the documents, they'll be prompted to enter their payment information, and then as soon as they pay, then they will be able to access their documents. And you can set whatever it is you want. I went ahead and I just did the Washington fees. Essentially, I can charge $25 per notarization. So I put $25 as my notarization fee. I did my additional seal for $10. Of course, I could also do that at $25, but $10 is what I currently charge for additional seals. So you can change that, you can customize that, and everything will automatically default to this payment that I have in there. And then of course your personal payment. So if you want to get documents notarized on the notary platform, then you can go ahead and just put a payment in there. So it's kind of nice. So like, let's say, of course, you need, as a notary, you need a document that you need notarized for yourself. You can still use your notary profile to get that done. And then if you only just need a document e-signed, so let's say you have like a contract that came through or something at work, you need to sign a form, they will allow you to use their platform to e-sign anything, and it is free. So it's kind of nice. If you have like DocuSign currently that you use a lot, in order to like e-sign your documents, now that you have access to Notarize, you actually don't need it because it's free. So just keep that in mind. That is a great feature. Okay, so now that you've seen the platform, you know the availability, the pricing, what I like about it, some things that it has to offer, we 100% have to talk through some cons. Now, one of them is a major con that I did not see coming. I don't think anybody saw coming. And then the other one is just a small one, and I'm being a little nitpicky. But that one is the fact that it is so customizable and it has so many options for you to be able to get the exact experience you want as a notary and for your signers. But on the back end of it, it's a little overwhelming. I think there's so many options that it provides that you're just like, it's hard to like wrap your mind around. And I consider myself like very tech savvy. So I'd say if you're a very tech savvy individual, you will love everything it has to offer. If you're one of those people that you're like, I know how to log in, send a link, and then just like get to the platform, you may be a little bit overwhelmed with all it has to offer. But again, I mean, I'd rather offer it and you not need it than it not offer it at all. So again, I'm being a little nitpicky, but I will say it can be a little bit overwhelming with some of the stuff that it has to offer, but I'm glad it's there at the end of the day. Now, the one that is major that I did not see coming is the fact that you cannot do loan signings with BYOT. I'm gonna repeat that again. Notarize does not allow notaries who do bring your own transactions to do loan signings on their platform. mind blown. It doesn't make any sense. So how I found it out essentially is I had signed up for the platform, I had done everything, I had gotten approved for the platform, and when I went to sign in, it's like, oh, you need to agree to our new terms of service. Now, I never read the terms of service, most people don't, but this time I was like, nah, let's just read it real quick. Only because the terms of service changed so quickly from when I originally signed up 2 days ago to now, so I'm like, let's just see what the change is. And so I was scrolling through and I was reading it, and one thing caught my eye, so I'll read it real quick. It says, restrictions and other notary responsibilities. You agree you will not use the Notarize platform to provide any notarizations or other services in relation to real estate closing transactions. So I was like, real estate closing transactions? So I'm like, loan signings? That didn't seem right. So I emailed them and I was like, hey, just to make sure I'm understanding this right, it says I can't do anything related to real estate closing transactions. Can I do loan signings? And the person came back like, hey, at this time, no, you cannot do loan signings. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you make a platform that doesn't allow you to do loan signings? And so it is new. So it could be that the person who answered my email was confused. I could be reading it wrong. This could mean something else, but it seems like a huge miss that they would make a notary platform that doesn't allow you to do loan signings, especially since they announced BYOT at the Rewire conference, which was based on real estate. So then why would you announce, none of it makes any sense. But to me, that's a huge miss. That's a huge loss. So even though the platform I think is amazing for general notary work, if it doesn't allow you to do loan signings, you're gonna have to have another platform anyway. So as of right now, it can't be your only platform that you have if you are a loan signing agent. Now, there's a couple reasons why I think that may be, and I think it's because you can only have a certain size document. So maybe it just currently doesn't support these larger 200-page documents that you may need for loan signings. Maybe they don't want you to compete with the business that they have on the platform, but that doesn't make any sense to me. I also think it's weird because they made you put E&O insurance on there. So if you put E&O insurance, then why can't you do loan signings? Like, maybe it's a liability thing. It's just so much that I don't understand. But again, I'm not sure, and maybe that's subject to change, right? Because I know when you're signing up to be a notary, like a contract notary with them, they do make you show that you are a certified loan signing agent, because there's a potential that you can do loan signing cases. So because they don't have you required to show that you are a certified loan signing agent when you sign up for them, maybe they're just not comfortable with you handing them on the platform, but really that's not their problem. So I don't know, like, what do you think? Why do you think that is? Why do you think they would do that? Am I reading it wrong? Is the person who emailed me back wrong? Like, that is actually mind-blowing that they do not allow you to do loan signings on their platform. I do not get it. But anyways, that was my little con/rant at the end. Let me know overall what you think of the Notarize platform. If you are in Washington or Tennessee and you've used it and had a couple clients, let me know exactly what you feel about it. Do you like it? Is it streamlined? I do plan to go to one of the little small group sessions sometime later this week, so that way I can ask more questions about loan signings and just get some more information about things I was confused about. But anyways, thank you so much for watching my video, and as always, I will talk to you in the next one.